Awesome.
y'all
How are
doing?
you guys? Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
J-Mon, Magpie, J-Mon.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
how are
very
you?
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. We're ready. It's been about 2 weeks in here, and we're ready to go. How y'all been traveling around? The time flew by. It feels like I was just talking to you the other day.
Yeah, so
Yep.
we were kind of surprised as well. We were like, oh, we really have to contact you and see how you're going. And then you contacted us like, oh, we're going to start in a few days. We're like, really? Has it been that long?
Yeah. What kind of spots have you guys been to? Just been kind of tooling your way up the coast, not the coast, but all through Australia?
Well, up the coast for sure.
Yeah.
We did a stint inland, so we went to the outback to a nice gorge, and then back to the coast again. So yeah, we're midway Queensland, so they call it them. Well, we're above the Tropic of Capricorn now.
Okay.
Cool.
So
It's very tropical.
it's yeah, we're having a lot of downpours right now. So it's okay now, but something more is coming for sure.
Y'all been able to get any peaks in, or what kind of is the hiking been?
It's mainly been day trails so far. So there was a 4-day hike here, but it's quite far to get to the start of the trail, and definitely far. And then it's a completely different spot to get back from the trail, and there's no public transport or anything. And the company that wanted to help us was like ridiculously expensive. So we're like, okay, we're gonna skip this one for now. That's a bit of a shame.
They're not set up for through hikers.
No,
not at all. The amount that he was asking, we're like, oh, okay. That's a big chunk of our budget of the travel, so not really.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's normal, but it was $600.
Wow.
And it's a hike of 4 days, so just to bring us and to pick us up. Yeah.
Wow. How remote was it? Like, was it way back there? Even if it was
80.
very remote, though.
Yeah, it's about
80 kilometers, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit more than an hour's drive. Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
I've never gotten charged $600 for a ride. Have you?
No, I've gotten charged $300, but it was like a solid 3-hour drive, and we had to like pay a guy who had like a 4x4 Jeep, because it was just this like horrible rutted road. This was out by like Payson in
Arizona?
No, I'm not Payson. Pinedale, Wyoming.
Oh yeah, Wyoming would be kind of similar.
It's pretty far,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you could have told him. But I guess hitchhiking too would be hard to do because it's very remote throughout there too.
Correct. Yeah, it's not. It's the start is not in one of the popular areas that most people go to for sightseeing. So yeah.
You can always just walk the road.
No.
We're a bit on a time schedule now because we need to be up north of Cairns in 4 days time for some house sitting. So we'll have a bit of a break of the camping.
Are you all in a tent right now? I see the flat behind.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Super cool.
It's a bit of a wet tent at the moment, but oh well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we're looking out the window right now too, and Vermont. I mean, it's been the past 14 days we've been here. Maybe 2 days of sunshine.
Oh wow.
It's been pretty wet. I mean, it's spring in the Northeast. Like it's
we
wet.
legit had a blizzard.
Not a blizzard. There were some snow flurries.
It was a lot of snow.
He doesn't know what winter is.
It was a lot of snow. Like it was. It was
like 4 centimeters of snow. And he's like, "Wow, it's so snowing."
It was way more than that. But yeah, it's been quite wet around here. So yeah, we're gonna see how that translates to stepping out the mile.
Starting,
Yeah.
So you guys are quite well prepared now?
Yep.
Yeah, ready to go. I think we spent most of yesterday and today like getting ready. Yesterday was my last day that I had to be quarantined after crossing the border. So today it was like, all right, we have to go do like all the errands today. It's our only day to do them. So we spent all morning running around, and now the packs are packed and the mail is sent, so we're ready to go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Been, we both have been like back and forth because with the 2-week interval, it's kind of like you get that feeling like the trail is not fully there yet. But the past few days, it's like, oh, it's here. Like, it's right here. So we're super stoked. We're getting the itchy legs, just kind of
ready to go.
Just ready, ready for trail.
Yeah. Magpie, had you been preparing like physically before going here for the trail, and then now having to sit idle for 2 weeks? Do you notice anything like?
We were actually just talking about this the other night. Like, I don't exercise. I hate exercise. I don't train. I mean, I ski, which is like counts as exercise, I guess. And I have a physical job, so I'm on my feet all day. Yeah. And that's really the most important thing for conditioning, I find, is just like standing all day long. But yeah, I've definitely been feeling like pretty sleepy being stuck in the house for quarantine. But I don't know. I was busting a pace out today when we were walking to the grocery store. So I'm feeling pretty good.
One of the many reasons I love her and love hiking with her is like the mentality is, even if the body's not ready, it's being able to push through that kind of difficult mentality. Regardless, when you start the trail, you're going to have that toughness. But once she starts stepping, she does not stop. Like she gets after it.
Yeah, that's so it's good. More mental preparation then.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And I mean, I make an effort all throughout the year to keep my feet and calves in good shape, which I find is the limiting factor for me on trail. Like cardiovascular tiredness, whatever, you can cope through that. But if your feet are in pain, then that's a real deal breaker. Like that can really ruin your day. So I only wear 0-drop shoes. I spend most of my time barefoot when I'm not at work, just to like keep strengthening those muscles. And like, I'm a boot fitter at a ski shop, so I spend most of the day like squatting, kneeling, lifting, so my legs stay in good shape, and that's all I'm worried about.
It amazes me. She does stay in incredibly good shape for when off trail. Yeah, doesn't do a lot of exercise. Like while we've been in quarantine, she's of course upholding it very strictly, and she's been okay with me going out and getting a few miles, like as long as I stay distance from everybody else. There's this one trail system that just hugs the river, so I've been able to go out and get a few miles just to keep the legs fresh and not super cramped up. I'll come back, I'm like, I feel like I'm broken. Like I've only done like 5 or 10 miles today, and it feels like my body's broken. Like it's gonna blow my mind to see how it transitions, but I've never seen an issue with it. She can just start stepping and it doesn't affect her, it doesn't seem.
That's good.
Yeah.
So how did the rest of the preparation go?
Good.
Pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah.
Constantine discovered that he's lost his gloves and his pocket knife somewhere.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're good.
Yeah. The gear, we didn't really switch up much with the gear. She's the gearhead, so she kind of came all dialed in. And we both have been doing this for so long that it's kind of like second nature at that point. The prep, with getting everything situated with 11 skies and everything, we've been working at that for 2 weeks to get it all set in place for heading out. And it's just been being able to chip away at it for 2 weeks long and know that we still have work every day coming up on the trail. But it's been cool. We actually registered with fastest known time as well, and for the official speed record, which was a fun process. Neither of us had ever done that, and she's like, it was fun. I thought it was fun going through that process and seeing how that works and seeing how that will transition.
Yeah. But
she's like,
the only frustrating thing was having to try to like piece together the maps for the NCT because the website doesn't have any like really consolidated download link, and so you have to kind of do some investigation to find, okay, it uses like a piece of the Finger Lakes Trail, and then we have to get like parts of the Buckeye Trail, so we have to go to that trail association, and it's just like most of the maps are there, but not all of them, and the ones that are missing are pretty important. So
so the maps that are missing, it's the North Country Trail, since it integrates so many other trail systems. It's trying to show these other trail associations that manage these other bits and pieces, trying to give them the proprietary rights to the trail maps. So like they have the huge interactive map on their website, but they don't have the files for the Finger Lake Trail, the Buckeye Trail, and the Superior Hiking Trail, because they want you to purchase those map systems through those trail associations, which is super cool. It just means you have to grab maps from all over the place to compile it together. And Yeah, that took a few days
It
to
took
get
a little while to figure it
yeah
out.
to get together, but for the most part, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So you're all registered now.
Yes, so we registered with Fastest Known Time. We let the North Country Trail Association know that we're hiking it as well. This is kind of one of the trail associations, like the ATPCT. They ask you to register with permits, but the North Country Trail just wants to let you to let them know that you're out there.
Yeah.
Since it's such a long trail, they don't have a lot of through hikers, so they just want to know that somebody's out there going. So we let them know as well.
Yeah, and then we like activated our Garmin because for the fastest known time, for it to count as an official record, we have to track at periodic intervals. So we got that set up, and we've got a link to it on our website. So
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. That's exciting.
Are those monkeys or birds?
Birds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Like,
have some
where's
birds
the
that sound like monkeys here. So.
Yes.
We have some strange animals here in Australia.
Oh, that's fun though.
yeah, we've just been dealing with fighter jets while we're trying to film, which is really good. Just like really loud airplanes.
We're close
jets,
to it. We're close to an airport. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're unfortunately quite close to a highway, so that's why we've
Yeah.
put in the headphones as well, just to hope that we can mitigate that noise.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's all right. We'll both be noisy.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I saw on Instagram that you did some videos on food preparation as well, and there are some differences I think between the two of you. Can you walk us through that?
I have my cookie bag outside of the shot of the screen right now. When I texted y'all that I've been saying a cookie a day keeps the doctor away, I wasn't playing around. Like
that's not a cookie. You've been eating like a bag of cookies.
Yeah, it's been about
day.
a bag of cookies a day keeps the doctor away. It's been a lot of cookies that it's starting to get somewhat sick. Not fully sick yet, but enough cookies to last me a lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah.
This last time we talked, I was filming on the cookie tower.
On the cookie tower, yeah.
And ever since then, there's not been a day. Actually, yesterday was the first day we didn't have cookies.
That's only because we ran out.
And we went to the grocery store today, and we were talking. We're like, man, it felt bad not having cookies yesterday.
We got to get some more. At least he's off the donut train. That was worse.
Okay.
Yeah, the donut. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I think last time when we spoke, you had 12 donuts, a pack of 12, was
or
it?
2 dozen, yeah.
Oh yeah, I pounded those back pretty quickly. By the time we were talking, I had just gotten off to New England, and within the next span of a few days before I met Magpie, I think I ate 2 dozen donuts. It was an absurd amount of food. I've been just calorie packing nonstop, and good, but also uncomfortable in a sense.
Yeah. Do you ever have any issues with crashing, like sugar crash, or do you feel very sluggish during the day?
I don't know how he doesn't. I do. If I eat too much sugar, then my energy just like falls off a cliff. You know, I have to be pretty careful about how I eat because I've got a really, really fast metabolism. And my body reacts really strongly to whatever I put in it, which I think is in a way is good because it forces me to pay attention and like fuel my body appropriately. But yeah, I get really bad sugar crashes. So I try to balance it out a little bit.
And I don't know if it's from hiking because like I don't eat like this way. This is my in-between time, right? This 2 weeks has been from all the trails I did earlier this year to the NCT. And I knew going to the NCT, I needed to put back on a lot of weight because last time we talked, the New England Trail, I was reeking of ammonia. Like my body was eating itself. So like I needed to eat this way. So I think my body has over the years kind of probably doesn't like it a lot, but been able to process what I do to it and has learned how to use those calories appropriately, even if it's trash calories in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Magpie's been I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying Magpie's been helping me on the cookies as well.
I've been helping you out with those, yeah.
It's been a dual effort.
Yes.
Very good.
Teamwork.
That's perfect.
There are worse things to go through for sure.
Well, we could touch on how bad the cookies affect.
No. We don't need to talk more about the cookie dough parts.
She's,
We've already covered that extensively.
she's been trying to cut me off on cookie dough because she says she doesn't like the after effects as much.
Yep.
She says I can eat baked cookies, but not cookie dough.
Yes, that's the new rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ate a 16-inch tube of cookie dough.
You made your point.
So what is
Yeah, we
your
got
go-to?
off track.
Oh, good. So what is your go-to food then, Magpie? What do you normally like? I know it's difficult to pinpoint, but in general.
Yeah. I eat a lot of dried fruit. I eat a lot of nuts. I try to stick to the kinds of protein bars that are like whole foods or whole grains. Although, I mean, I still eat a fair amount of candy and I eat a Snickers bar every single day. But I mean, it's got peanuts in it. It's healthy, right?
Yeah.
Probably the go-to food, actually, you can get, I don't know about elsewhere, but in North America, you can get this like pre-cooked microwave bacon that's shelf stable. And so you don't have to refrigerate it or cook it. And so I eat that as my lunch every single day. Tortilla, hot sauce, cheese, bacon. And that is like, it's the best trail lunch I've found. Sometimes I'll do peanut butter, but I really prefer the bacon.
No peanut butter.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious. I don't think
Sounds
we have
good,
that here.
I haven't seen it. No.
No.
Well, I've seen
Yeah.
the
Sometimes
microwavable
sometimes on
packages. but-
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I've seen that we've got some microwavable bacon as well, but yeah, whether it's similar and if it's what the shelf life is, I don't know.
It's sometimes hidden in the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's not advertised well.
Sometimes it's in the refrigerator case, and sometimes it's just like sitting next to the meat counter, like in a stand on a shelf. So it's sometimes tricky to find, but most grocery stores in the States have it.
Okay.
Yeah, but our food preferences
Pretty different.
pretty different. I think they're getting closer though. Like, it's of course mindset of where you are. Like, we both are in the in-between time before a trail. So as we've been in quarantine, we've been cooking, we've been kind of doing takeout / delivery. So it's been stuff that still is not great for you, but it's not.
Well, it's been high calorie, and I've been trying to steer us towards more like high fat, high protein, whole grain. Like, not that it's actually healthy, but like we, ordered out like Vietnamese, which is like big fatty cuts of meat and noodles.
Yeah.
So like, a little bit better, a little bit more nutrition.
It's not like how we would completely eat in the off season, but still in between time. So
It's still not what you would eat that's left to your own devices.
Yeah, that's true. Wouldn't have been good. It would not have been good.
He's got some more nutritions in you now.
Yeah, nutritions. I like nutrients. What was the word? Yeah, we were joking about nutrients.
Nutriated is what you were calling yourself.
Nutriated.
Not a word.
Nutriated, yes.
And are you guys just buying on the trail, or have you been preparing ahead of time and dropping food off at certain stages?
I don't think we need to do any resupply boxes on this trail. Yeah, with the pace that we're going to be going, I think our longest section is going to end up being 6 days.
Okay.
So, that's not bad. And it's a lot of gas stations, but they're very frequent. So you can get away with doing that for a while.
Boxes would be pretty impossible since we're going to be pushing that pace. We're not going to, like, when we started planning it out these 2 weeks, like getting really into it, we have a general sense of like, okay, it's going to take us 5 to 6 days to get here. But of course, you don't know the exact day every single time. So since it's such a long trail, we can have time to average out those miles. Like, we were talking about it. We were answering some questions today from our channel. And one of the questions is like, what's the hardest thing going to be for you guys on this trail? And it's not really the physical aspect that we were talking about. It seems like it's going to be the mental, like allowing ourselves to be like, we have 4 or 5 months of pushing hard. We can allow ourselves to.
We can take a break today because it's going to average out in the end. Yeah. It's like with that, especially with sending resupply boxes, when you're thinking 2-3 months out and we've got such an ambitious pace ahead of us, the error bars stack up really quickly. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if we get to this town 1 day early, then we'll be in this town 4 days early, and then we'll be in this town 4 months later. It's going to end up being 2 weeks early, and our food won't be there yet. So there's no point in trying to look ahead too far.
It would be pretty impossible to try to handle that, logistically.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
definitely.
Yeah. Perfect. I want to ask something, but again, that slipped my mind. So hopefully we'll come back.
Oh, so something else fun. Today, as we were getting prepped, we were kind of getting some miles in. It was Magpie's first day out. Got to pull a piece of glass out of my foot, which was always perfect before a trail start. Luckily,
he broke a glass in the kitchen doing the dishes, and he like thought he cleaned it up, but I guess he missed a piece, and so we got to pull like a little tiny shard out of his foot.
And if this doesn't describe our difference in mentality perfectly, I kept telling Magpie that I'm like, no.
He's like, oh, my body will absorb it. I'm like, it's glass. It won't.
I kept telling her like, no. It's fine. I'm going to hike on it. It's going to eventually just go somewhere in my body and we'll forget about it. And Magpie's like, no, you got to get it out.
You're going to get an infection.
You got to get it out. So
Yep.
That's the big difference there.
I think it.
I'm glad we got it out.
I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, I think that's
She
the
saves
wiser
me.
choice.
Yeah, he saves me every day.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so we're stoked. We're antsy. We're ready to go. I don't know what else much we have left to do.
We're pretty much ready.
Yeah, we're pretty much packed up. We got a ride situated at. I think he's getting here at like 5:30 or 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Gonna have to start stepping in the rain, but yeah, we're ready.
Perfect.
That
And are
sounds
you
awesome.
trying to slowly build it up to the 30 average per day, or what's the
So the
kind
way,
of plan?
yeah, the way we planned, our second day is like a 36 or 37 mile day.
No, it's not that. It's like
Yeah.
a 32.
It's a 36.
Okay, well,
It's on the phone. I can pull it up.
later.
Yeah, it's.
But like our first day is 25, and then our
First day is
second.
25.
The problem is that we can't really camp anywhere in the beginning because we have 1 day on trail, and then it's all road walking with a little bit of state park sprinkled in there. So it's like we'd either have to call a really early day after like 10 miles, or we have to do this massive mile day. But I'm feeling confident about it. Like I'm much faster on roads than he is.
Oh,
Well, your rear road walking pace has picked up since you started hiking with me, but
that's true. I wanted to catch up to you.
yeah, I mean, I think we'll be able to handle it. It's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to hurt, but better to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So, I mean, building up, we probably will. Like, there'll be those, at least in our first 10-day schedule, it's 25, 36, then there's like a 22, then another 32. So it's going to be like more piecemealed of like big miles and small miles. So like you have that rest and recover period. But then after however long it takes us to acclimate, two weeks or something like that, then it'll be pretty consistently like the Florida Trail, like what Hardy and I were doing there. Like it was 35 is kind of the average day. And then we get to play around with either on the low side of that or on the higher side of that.
Yeah. And we've comfortably held that pace before together on
harder trails.
In places that like supported this. Like we can easily do 35s every day after we're broken in. So I'm not worried about that.
No.
I am a little bit nervous about the very beginning, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. And we're going to listen to our bodies. With still being with the FKT, we don't have to kill ourselves. Like I was trying to describe, we hold a strong enough pace that regardless, we'll be able to still set a strong pace no matter how that first week plays out. Yep. And we got to allow ourselves to listen to the body so we don't kill ourselves the first 100 miles out of 4,000.
You don't want to burn out.
600.
Yeah, it's a long trail, so you have to make sure that you make it.
She's been working on me to try to filter more of my water lately, which I got to tell you guys, it's not making me.
You're going to filter more of your water, like you are, because I'm going to make you.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
Oh, I know. I know.
This is an ongoing discussion.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you can see,
what are your different reasons for not wanting to filter water and wanting to filter water?
Well, his is just pure laziness. He doesn't want to
What?
stop and do it. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to break his pace.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to take the like 2 minutes it takes.
You guys
It's-
are agreeing over here.
But these are your own words in one of our previous interviews, so yes.
Oh, it hurts the
You're
most.
telling on yourself again.
It hurts the most when you use my own words against me. Oh.
And obviously, I'm on the side of like safety and health. So, you know.
Yeah.
Also, I have to sleep next to you, so I don't want to smell that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was gonna try to say something here, but I guess I can't. I'm stuck in my own words. Yeah.
Hoisted on your own petard.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I guess laziness is part of it. I think it's more dedication.
Okay.
Dedicated to continuously moving.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Y'all are just all three of y'all are just humoring me right now.
Yes, dear.
Giving me a pat. Yeah. She saves me every day, as you can see.
Well, it's only gonna help on the long run, probably. So
We can help. We can help.
Yeah.
The Adirondacks, though, like we said, we had the Vermont, the long trail for the first day, and then we start cutting towards New York. But the Adirondacks have water everywhere. I think the spots we go through, within like a radius around us, there's like 3,000 lakes, more than a couple thousand tributaries. Like there's a lot of water. So with that amount of water being said, we can pick some good sources to go no filter, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it when there's a spring, or if I can see like meltwater coming down off of something. Like, but yeah, I'm not drinking unfiltered water from anything under probably 12,000 feet.
You are
just no.
She was on the journey with me through crypto, and it was a wonderful journey together.
That was interesting. Yes.
She had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I left you in the dust because you were stopping to poop every 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're stronger as a team.
Yes.
We're stronger hiking as a team.
Yeah. Definitely. No, but I agree. I wouldn't. I'm probably more like Magpie, a bit risk averse. If you can filter it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys always filter the water? I would say Australia's probably you want to filter it most.
For here, yes, because there's just, I mean, the national parks are okay, but there's so many. Other than that, it's so much farmland and cattle, and so we're like, you just you're never sure. There's no meltwater, so that's why we're like,
really have high mountains, and so
no.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
No, it's always a bit iffy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for any other hikers watching this. Always filter the water. Don't listen to me. Listen to these three people right here. Always filter the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the smartest, and we've known this for a while. So.
Well, you survived on the way you hiked
so far,
for a long time. So.
Yeah, she always tells me she wonders how I survived.
Yeah, I wonder how you made it before you met me, honestly. Because some of the stuff I see you do, I'm just like, what? Until he met me, he had been using the same tent for like 3 years, and he had never once set up the fly properly.
It worked. I didn't need to. It had been working for me. You find so much joy in that.
Was it better after I fixed it?
Describe better. Better is a word.
Drier, more dry.
I didn't get soaked as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's the word dedicated again, I guess.
Stubborn. He means stubborn.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, super excited that it's just around the corner now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
These 2 weeks, they flew by. I mean, sometimes I was really worried about how my body would react to such a long time off the trail too. Yeah. And I don't know if we had touched on this. Because last time we talked was the New England Trail, and I told y'all I was going to go hop on the AT for a few days until Magpie showed up. Yeah. Had we talked on this?
Well, you said you were going to do. You were not sure yet how many miles or anything. So.
Yeah. So I actually started the day or two after that we had talked, and I had coordinated with the shuttle driver to pick me up in 3 days. That's when Magpie was coming in, so I'd meet her in Burlington. And I got up like 4 miles, and I had the most searing pain I've had on almost any of my hikes. It felt like my calves were getting ripped out from the muscle was getting torn every single step.
Okay.
Like, I think it was because I had pushed so hard on the New England Trail, and I had walked that line between a deficiency like too much. I'd never had anything like it. I had to actually, I'm glad it wasn't a through hike. I had to actually turn around and walk back into town and wait in town and just rest until Magpie showed up.
Okay,
I never had that happen to me. Like, that was, I think we touched on this before too on the Natchez talk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't the pain that you're like, okay, I can push through this safely. It was the pain that if I keep pushing, I'm going to seriously injure myself, that it will jeopardize not only the next week, like it will jeopardize a long time. It was intense.
Yeah, I think he was probably really dehydrated and also like wasn't taking in enough salt through his food because he wasn't eating nearly enough.
Yeah.
So I think probably the muscles just got really, really stiff and like, yeah, I'm really glad that you decided to turn around because it sounded like you could have actually injured
Torn
yourself.
muscles,
No,
I got
that's
it.
a really smart decision for sure.
It bothered me so much because I got to the top of the mountain and it took me 2 hours to go 3 miles up, which is for my pace like absurdly slow. It's like me crawling. And I finally got there, and every step up towards that point had been to the point that it felt like, yeah, the muscle was going to tear off the bone every single step. And I finally got there. I threw my pack down and I texted a few buddies. I think I might have texted Magpie. And then I called a friend that she is a massage therapist and she does stuff with the body. And I was describing the pain to her. And she's like, you got to turn around. Like, it sounds like something is actually going to pop and it's not going to be good. And then I stood up there again for like 30 more minutes and just fought my own mind until I realized I actually had to turn around. That I haven't had anything like that on any trail in a year. That was something.
Gosh. Well, I'm glad though that you made the decision to turn around.
How quickly did you notice recovery?
Yeah.
After good food?
It took me 4 more days until I could walk without a limp. So like I still think the day that I tried to hike out of town, I pushed it harder than I should have. So like when I went out of town, I did 3 miles up to the top of the mountain, and then I had to get back down. So coming back down again, it took me at least 2 hours to do 3 miles back down. Like,
yeah, you were like stiff and limping and like sore, and not just in your calves either. Like your back was stiff, your thighs were stiff. Like you were just like a creaky old man for like a week after he got to me. He would just like get up from the couch and be like, oh.
And that
like, all right, we're gonna feed you. We're gonna make you drink some water.
Yeah, and that was me healed, because when I came down off the mountain, it was 4 days until we got 3 or 4 days until we got back together. Like those 3 or 4 days, I was pretty much infirm. Like that was the most broken down I think my body has ever been in any year. It was something special. But instead we go 4,600 miles more. We're not letting it stop us. We healed, hopefully.
Yeah, so not pushing 40+ mile days for a few days straight.
We probably
we
will.
might end up doing that. Yeah, we're probably going to work up to that, but I don't think in the beginning, I don't even think it's possible for us to do that in the beginning with the camping. We're pretty limited by where it's legal for us to camp. So
I don't think it was the mileage. I think it was how I was treating my body.
The food and combination of
drinking unfiltered water. Yeah, it was how I was treating my body. Like you said, the salt as well. I don't know if you all saw those pictures, but my shirts were just caked in salt from the miles, and I wasn't putting in the amount for 2 months since the Florida Trail that I was putting out, and I think it caught up to me pretty quickly. So we're gonna be smarter about. Well, I guess you're always smart about that. I'll hopefully be smarter with her help about that. On that.
Oh, but it's something that you can take with you as well, because
you've learned from this now.
Yeah, you really pushed yourself. So the last few days on the trail there without a lot of food. So now you know as well what kind of effect it has on your body. At least you know, and
Thorns
hopefully
off.
next time, if you're struggling with that challenge
He knows where
for
the
yourself.
No.
Thorn's also an interesting word.
Well, I've learned it, and that means I can remind you about it.
Okay, then I agree. Yes.
He's gonna be like, "Well, it wasn't that bad last time." I'm like, "Yes, it was."
It was.
It was, yeah. Remember when you thought your muscle would actually tear off your bone? Yes, it was bad.
Yeah, remember that? Drink some water.
Yeah, that was.
Weirdo.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna vamp this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
push hard. Still do our miles, but eat better and probably hydrate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems smart.
Yeah.
Less challenging yourself or setting goals for yourself in the sense of
Crazy
of-
goals.
yeah, crazy
of
goals with food and
starving.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
You
still.
checked them all off your list. You don't need to do anymore.
Yeah.
You already proved that you can.
There's still so much more to prove. There's a new goal that we found in hiking through the Upper Peninsula in the summertime of trying to meditate through like the swarms of mosquitoes and black flies.
He's not bringing any bug repellent.
So
And it's black fly season, and our friend Buck has challenged him because what is it? June 21st is Hike Naked Day.
Okay.
We're gonna be in the swamps of Upper Michigan, and he wants to try to hike naked through black fly season. And I'm like, okay.
it's another goal.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see how long it takes me to talk about it this one.
Yeah.
It gets locked in the brain. It's hard to get out of these
Hard
goals.
to get out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she does a very good job of getting me out of the really, really dumb ones though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was also, I remember when I was driving him across the country right after we first met, he was like
this one.
telling me how, since he was going to go do the IAT, which is all in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is famous for cheese making, he was gonna like just only eat cheese for all of Wisconsin. I was like, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that.
I'm so happy she convinced me out of
And I was
that.
like, what if instead you challenge yourself to eat no cheese through Wisconsin? He's like, oh yeah, that's a better goal. So yeah, I got him on the no cheese train.
It would have been terrible. The one time I ate Wisconsin cheese, I don't know if it was because of that or what, but I felt nauseous. Like if that was my only diet the entire time in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I think it might have just been it was in your pack for like ages and ages.
Because of that, yes.
Might have been the case. Yep.
But it makes it fun.
Yeah, I'm
Some of those challenges, not all of your challenges, but
yeah,
it makes it fun.
yeah. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna be able to give you, well, knowing how we talk, I thought we were gonna be able to give you a structured A, B, C, and D with Magpie back, but now it's just us talking about.
I'm just letting you rip, man.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. My brain's a weird place.
Mm.
Definitely, yeah.
You mentioned earlier that.
Well, no, I think everyone's brain is a weird place, right? Like we all set ourselves
I agree.
challenges and
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you've been working on 11 Skies, or both have been working on 11 Skies. Is it a mentality that you need to kind of get out of again, or are you constantly working?
Well, I pretty much just function as like the editor and like spell checker and sort of like design consultant. Not that he always listens to me, but I the second set of eyes on this, so it's really Constantine's baby.
Aw. Well, we're growing it together. When you talk about mindset, what are you asking there?
Well, I know for us that there's days that we just constantly think about work and are just trying to improve, or how can we serve the customer better, or we still need to do this for the customer, or so is
I
that
think
something
if
that
you would follow us on a hike, for example, we just like 90% of the time of the hike we talk about how we can improve and how we can do different things.
I think we did that. I think the last few hikes we both were pretty good at just completely avoiding the subject and just be out there. But if you've now been so focused on it for 2 weeks, is that something that you notice that keeps on going, or you can put it aside, put to the next
In my
point that
mind,
you can work on again?
yeah, in my mind, it never stops. But Magpie has a very healthy relationship with kind of work mentality and getting a job. If you get a job done and you
Then
do it
it's
well,
done.
you
Yeah.
kind of get that.
You check the box next to it and it's done, and that's it. You did it. Good job. Go hiking.
So
I keep encouraging him, but he gets a little bit
workaholic-ish.
Yeah, you're definitely a workaholic.
It's hard
check
as well. If you're building a company, it's never done, right? There's never a checkbox
Oh.
that you like, I can just stop now. So I find that, I mean, tasks, yes, but there's always things that you can do differently or improve or want to work on. And yeah.
So with that concept, if you're looking at that list that you check mark off one task and you find 100 tasks within that task, because as you were doing that task, you found 100 other avenues that you could do better or even do.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's finding the check mark point of the day, because it's a small business, it's growing a business. Yeah, you're never going to do everything. Like that's my biggest pet peeve too. I'm the same mentality there. Like I want to be 1,000 directions at once, but trying to find that point that you can accept that I did everything I could do today. That's the biggest part. And it's bothersome. I mean, I'll wake up and start thinking about it all the time. And when we're hiking and we'll chat about it all the time, but it's trying to balance is super hard with it. As you guys are seeing too, you're hiking and you're talking about it 90% of the time. Like balance is hard. And I don't think anybody in the world has a direct answer for that of how to manage that.
I do. You just don't listen to me. No, I mean, partly because it's like Constantine's, idea, and I'm just like an assist on it. I think I can be helpful in that respect, but also like I am a writer and I work on these very long form projects. And if I didn't have structure around my work, especially because it's all self-directed and there's no instant feedback from it. It's like long projects that I'll be working on for months and months and months and months before anyone else looks at it, that I have to put limits on the amount that I allow myself to work and limits on the amount that I let myself think about work. So I have this structure in my head of like, this is the amount of hours that I'm going to devote to this today, or this is the amount of paragraphs that I want to get done, or I want to like finish this discrete section of it. And if I discover more problems with the edit, or if I like have another brilliant idea, like I can do that, but that means I have to put this piece down for now. And just like being really strict with myself, like acting like my own manager. So I've tried to do that with him a little bit, but he doesn't like to be managed too much. So I've got to be gentle.
I think if you're going to own a small business, the mentality of to be a small business owner, you have to be part workaholic. Like that's just how it is. To do it, you always have to be working. Even when you're not working, you have to be working. And I know she doesn't like that, and all of that it's hard. That's why I can't really. It's hard to describe. It's a hard balance to find.
I mean, I get it. I admire your like work ethic and everything. Sometimes it's just like you need to, and I think this also ties into like the other mentality that you get around goals and around overworking yourself. Is I often have to remind him that in order to produce or perform at his best, rest is actually necessary.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And like putting it in that frame of like, this is something that you're doing to improve your performance. Rest is another item on your to-do list that you must accomplish. It actually really helps to turn off.
Yeah, it kind of.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping 8 hours a night. What's the problem, right?
Well, so that's the thing, like too, even that, at least how my brain works is I'm either on or off. So like when I'm on, I'm just going nonstop, and we've had this conversation hundreds of times. But once I realize, like, eventually I get to a point, it's just like I can't go any harder or faster today, and I just crash. And that's usually, it's not me choosing to cut off. It's just my brain and my body saying, you can't do anymore. Time to stop.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, how have you guys been on the journey? How's it been for y'all?
Difficult, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. It's just difficult finding that balance between exploring, seeing all the beautiful things around us, going on hikes, going on adventures, and really sit down and work. I think the last few weeks we've been a bit better in finding a balance and saying, okay, we're staying somewhere for 4 days or 4 nights. So we have 1 day of exploring around, 1 day of working, and 1 day of like half working, half exploring. And then move on to have a travel day. So I think that kind of works.
But we also do notice that there's lots of opportunities still and a lot of work to be done. And doing just a 1 day of working is maybe a bit too short. So we noticed that we need a bit more of a longer stretch to really sit down and focus, but that doesn't work well with traveling at the same time. So we're doing house sitting in 4 days. So then we'll be for almost 3 weeks at someone's place. And then we will be a bit more dedicated. But it's still difficult.
There's a lot of freedom in being able to set your own schedule, but there's also a lot of work in working your own schedule.
Yes.
Because you got to make sure that you're able to work efficiently and get the other time that blends in with the other time. So
well, I mean, if you're being your own boss, being the boss is also a job.
Yes.
Yes.
She said it better. And we've had that same conversation. Like this year has been just nuts with the amount of all over the place, and it's hard. It's really hard to, every time I've had Wi-Fi, just get sucked in 1,000 directions and have to be able to manage that. And we've been talking about this, like next year after this hiking year for the NCT, of having a home base and being able to get into work really hard too.
Yeah, well, and doing like, we've been calling it our grab bag year that we're probably going to do next year, of like not even necessarily doing a long through hike, but just like picking the peak season, the best sections of trail that we really want to do, trying to like coordinate around our friends' schedules so that we can see everybody, because through hikers are a widely dispersed bunch. And then like, having like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so that we can have that balance be a little bit more manageable.
Because managing a company from trail benefits, but some point too, you need to buckle down for a few months, whatever it may be, just really get after it, and that can set you up for the next year to get and travel and do that stuff. But like, you have to have those intervals of purely buckling down for months on end or whatever it may be to get to that point as well.
Building those structures and systems, and I think that's exactly the point where we are at as well. Feeling like we might still need to be reducing the amount of work or trying to limit the growth, so that we can enjoy the travels and then indeed sit down and really build on it.
It's fun that we can take this journey together too. It's fun seeing the kind of similarities with it as well. It's really cool. This has been fun together.
Absolutely,
for sure.
And we're really excited to follow you on the NCT as well. We spoke the other day, and I was like, oh, actually, by the time you finish the NCT, we might have like either left Australia or be on in another part, finished our travels, and it will be so strange.
Or we will be on the trail.
Will be on the trail,
So
exciting.
Which trail? Do you guys not want to say it yet, or is it
no. So next month we will be, or next month or 1.5 months we'll be on the Larapinta Trail. So that's dead center Australia. And then we will get to Perth in about August, September.
And we're going to do the trial, the Bibbulmun for you.
Yes,
sweet. That's exciting.
That's awesome.
That's definitely on the bucket list for us.
How's the logistics been going around that?
So we haven't been planning much yet. So we've looked at a few Facebook groups, and there's a few people that help out, like trail angels that want to help or bring food, or because there's lots of sections where you just can't get off the trail. So you need to find something. But that's going to be something that we will look into after the Larapinta Trail when we know a bit more.
So when we do the house sitting, we're going to prepare for the Larapinta. So that will be a 2 weeks trail, I think.
Maximum of 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then after that, we will start preparing for the Bibbulmun and see how it goes. So
that's so awesome. That's so
yeah,
cool.
we'll still be on the NCT that whole time.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a monster.
One of these
Yeah.
years, one of these Australia. We'll just have to flip flop. Y'all will have to come do the PCT in the States, or another trail that's grabbing your guys' heartstrings, and we're gonna have to go to Australia and do some of those hikes around there.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can. We haven't started the NCT yet, but we'll let you know. We'll give you some recommendations on whether or not to road walk 4,600 miles. I know you guys are interested on whether you guys want to do it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, will be very interesting though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was very curious because, like, it's a 4 or 5 months straight hike. What is the current record on the trail? What is it that you need to beat?
There isn't one.
So
Okay.
Luke, there's not an official one. Luke Strider Jordan did it in 5 months and 20 days or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, we can definitely go faster than that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
FKT is a fairly new the association that registers them as official. It wasn't in existence until a few years ago. So
yeah, it's not all that old. So there's a lot of like older speed records that aren't like official, especially because they require you to be tracking with Garmin devices, and those haven't been very affordable until kind of recently.
Yeah.
But
so 19 people have done the North Country Trail as section hike or through hike. I don't know out of those numbers how many are like a legit through hike, but it's not many people that have done the entirety of the trail in any type of realm. So out of the ones that have through hiked it, those people are going to tend to be faster people because
it's so long.
Yeah,
you have to be
seasons.
faster.
Yeah.
It's also going to be difficult because your record might never be broken because it's a growing trail as well. So in 2 years' time, the trail could have Vermont added to it, which is, I think, in the making at this stage. And
Yeah, we're
we're doing
the
the edition.
Vermont edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So we're doing the part that technically it's already routed. They just haven't put it on their map system. So like 2018, it became part of the official trail, but I don't know if they're like trying to get permission from the long trail or something
not
like that.
finalized with it, so
They haven't gotten the map connection to it, but you can easily connect the map from where they said it starts. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. As for people breaking it, I think hikers are going to see that there's a goal that they can break and probably try to break it.
Yeah.
We're pretty quick. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be a soft record. It's going to still be, you're going to still have to push pretty hard for.
We're not ultra
pretty
runners.
long.
Like
No.
people would be able to if they're a serious speed athlete.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
probably it's definitely going to be breakable, but it'll be tricky for the average person.
Yeah.
I hope. I mean,
Well, with speed records, I think you get more energy when you know there's a window that you have to beat. So like for us, we might take an extra Nero day or take an extra 0
we're
day.
not against the clock, really.
Because we're not super against the clock.
No.
We'll still have the speed record, but that person that sees 4 or 5 months, they're like, I'm not going to take that Nero day. I'm going to just push harder. So I bet it will be broken. It might be a little bit, but all records meant to be broken. So
that's not the purpose indeed per se.
Yeah.
It gives you something to look forward to as well. And in a few years' time, you might
redo it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess
redo it. Oh man.
There's too many other trails out there.
There's so many
for sure.
And we've been having this conversation almost every day too. Like,
oh, we should do the PCT again. No, we should do the CDT again. No, we should go do a different trail. Yeah, it's just like, where do we go next? There's too much good stuff.
Because it's still trails in the States and Canada, but there's so many more worldwide, right? With
exactly.
Europe has many long distance trails as well. Also shorter ones all through the Alps, and it should be beautiful as well.
Yeah, I really want to do the E1 and then connect it to the Camino at some point. Like I really want to do the Tearoa. I have to do that soon. I'm about to turn 30, so it's harder to get a visa to New Zealand.
Yeah.
After you turn 30, so
a couple of those e-routes. I want to do some of the Dolomites. You can connect your own routes in the Dolomites in Italy. That sounds super cool.
there's too many.
There's too many. But even with those trails, like those have a draw for us, and we're definitely going to be doing stuff like that in the future. But with those big 3 trails in the US, we also have like a draw to go back to some of those. Like we've had this conversation.
And
we just miss
the culture.
We just miss the hiking community. Like we're doing all these cool trails, and like it's amazing to be out there and to be able to do these trail systems, but you don't have that structure of getting into a trail town and having 10 other hikers there that you get to just hang out with and talk, and we're just passing hikers on the trail. So I've been missing it a lot.
Yeah, I miss it too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll always continue exploring, but I think we might have to pop in one of those big 3 trails here in the next year or 2.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice.
That would be good.
Yeah, if you guys want to do the PCT and link.
Yeah, no speed records on those. I'm good.
If you guys want to do the PCT and y'all are down for 2022 or 2023,
well,
let us know.
Let's not make any plans too quickly.
It was on our list for sure for a long time, or it's still on our list. But then indeed we're here now. Might as well do some hikes here. Because also I think it would be good not as a first hike. We definitely need to be more trained, because if we're going to take 5 months or 5.5 months to do the PCT and we only have a 6-month visa, it might be a bit cramped. So if we got the speed in a bit more, then those 6 months, if we would be able to get such a visa, wouldn't be an issue then to hike the route in its entirety. So
I mean PCT would be running quick. It would be tougher.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're really looking forward to then catching up with you when you're onto the trail, and to see how the first few miles have been going.
Yeah, it'll be good to talk to you guys again. I'm sure we'll get in touch.
Yeah,
for sure. Awesome.
It's been awesome catching up, and super jealous of you guys going to hit that track down there too. I'm telling you, if I could be in 1,000 places at once, I want to, but I can't. So it's hard.
Well, have fun out there, guys.
Will do. Good luck with the start.
Enjoy the start of NCT, and we'll catch up.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Awesome. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.